Madaya and shalom, everybody. So, I'm just going to share a little bit more of my love for the Bible. You know how I love books, I love stories, I am an avid reader. But I tell you what, 2 years with the Bible and I'm still not done. Not that I haven't read it ever. I have. When we were young, we even had those children's storybook Bibles. We had a lot of those, the ones with very nice. We didn't have the one with kitty pictures though. We had the one that's like painted. I'm not sure if it's like Seventh Day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, or something like that, who sold it to my mother. And my mom's like, they're all Bible stories anyway, same. Yes, they were toned down for children. And what I remember about it, because we lost that book years ago, there was a flood. What I liked about it was whoever did it was, I don't know, labor of love, because it was like painted style. And this was the era long before AI and things like that. So you really had to like paint your images, and this was really nicely done. It would really ignite your imagination. But because it was toned down, there was no context or anything like that. And I get that. I mean, if you're like 4 or 5 years old, you wouldn't really understand context and things like that. And sometime in high school, we were required to have our own Bibles in CLE class, Catholic Christian Learning Education. So there were insights. I think the nun who taught us was a bit of a rebel, but I loved it. I like her teaching, and I became a catechism teacher. I was still Catholic then. I suppose I've not really left. It's just that I have broadened my horizons, okay? And I realized there are some things that we are not following if we're really serious about following the Bible. And it's just that, because it's already tradition. Even my aunties have a hard time when I tell them about the Bible. Like, God doesn't like that. It says so in the Bible. But it's been tradition. We've been doing it for how many years? Yeah, I know, but those are man-made tradition. It also says in the Bible that God doesn't like it when we worship Him the same style as the people He told us not to follow, and we're doing exactly that. Yes, part of it is the images. We're not supposed to do that. Ancestral worship, we're not supposed to do that. Veneration of anything other than God. There's a distinction between veneration and worshiping. Is it? Is it really? I mean, you just changed the terms, but let's face it, the way you guys pray to Mary is more than how you pray to Jesus, and you're supposed to pray to Jesus more. In fact, you're supposed to pray to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit only. All right, so back to love of scriptures. What if I told you that if you shift your perspective, and I'm not being racist here, if you stop looking at Yeshua as white Jesus, and I get a lot of flack from cousins and friends like, Maita, you're so racist. I'm not. It's not that, because they're like, Jesus is the eye of the beholder. He's supposed to, like, if we're created in the images of God, so if he's a white Jesus, so what? That's not it. I'm not saying that Jesus can't be white, black, or whatever color you want. It's not that. The concept of the white Jesus, the white Messiah, actually changes your perspective. There are some things attributed to this so-called white Jesus that's not biblical. Get it? Because we have to look at it in the context of Jesus being brown, okay, Asian. He is Asian, okay, Middle Eastern Asian. He's from the Levant area, Middle Eastern area. Why do we have to know that context? They're having war there. Jesus is a Palestinian. That. You're not pro-Israel, so you hate the context of Jesus being Israeli. He's not an Israeli, he's an Israelite. Same thing as It's different between a Nazarene and a Nazarite. Jesus was never a Nazarite, he was a Nazarene. There's also a difference to that. Why do we need to know this? So you can understand who your real king is. Okay, Jesus is from the line of Shem, and it's because of that is the reason why there will always be conflict in the Middle East until he comes. Okay, so let that be that. Israel, you hate Israel, fine, but here's the thing: God's people, Israel, the Jews, not Jews, the Judaim, is the timeline that we have to respect and follow, because it's not because, oh, we're no longer Jews, we're now Christians, God disinherited the Jews. No, he did not. No, he did not. But somebody also told me that, fine, hate on Israel all you want, but it doesn't negate the fact that Israel is the timeline of the world. You have to, because all the prophecies align in that area. All the prophecies will involve that area, sacred geography and sacred people, because he set them apart and they're supposed to bless the nations. You don't identify with them? Fine, don't. Doesn't matter. Prophecy will take place, because when prophecy is from God, no matter how and what you do, it's gonna happen. And even the devil, the Yavalos, Shaitan or Satan, and all those small e Elohim, small g gods, they know that prophecy cannot be subverted, prophecy cannot be stopped. And so they are doing everything they can to kill, to steal, and destroy the humans, us humans. Why? Because they are destined for the lake of fire. While we, humans, we have a chance at salvation. They don't have that. We have that. Why? Because we are made in his image. Okay? All right, so back to that. Satan, shaitan, is not a person. We turned that term into a person, into a noun. It's not. It's actually a position. It's not a name. His name is not Shaitan. In fact, even some people say even Isaiah's Halal ben Shahar might not be his name either. It's also a description. Now, the Shaitan is a position. It means the adversary. And it also means prosecutor. And it also means the accuser. Okay, so he is our accuser, prosecutor. Now, angel, same thing. It's not a noun. It's a position. Okay, it's a noun, but it's a position. Angels have different forms. It's a position because it means messenger. Okay. Now, there would be a lot of wedding languages in the Bible. This wedding language will be there from Genesis all the way to Revelation, especially Revelation, because, wedding supper of the Lamb. It's because you have to really read Ruth and really understand the book of Ruth. Because Jesus is our kinsman redeemer, wedding language. Remember, Jesus' first miracle is wedding at Canaan. It's a wedding for a reason. We are to be wed. Wedding is not what you think it is. Wedding is a contract. Usually when the Israelites were trying to form a union between two families, you have a wedding to cement, my kid and your kid there's no concept of love that way. Your parents pick for you guys and you have to love each other. Find a way to love each other. All right, so do you see the signs all around us? Because I do. And let's just say we're currently starting our birth pains. Birth pains. I know there's wedding language and birth pain language, but trust me, this is all biblical. And for those who want to do Bible study with me, if you are in Davao, reach out to me, please, because I would really love to share what I know. I feel like I have this calling to share what I know, share what I've realized. All right, so that's it for now. Thank you, everybody. I'll have more of these trivia